Well, good morning, afternoon, good evening, or wherever you are in the world. How's it all going? Just give me a few moments here to get things set up. For those of you watching the live right now at the beginning, kudos to you, and let me know what you think of the sound. I'm going to get my chat set up here and get things going this morning. We got a lot to talk about. CPI data, the FBI slamming crypto, and here's the best part. I've got a crackling voice this morning. I have that FBI release right here for you that goes into even more depth regarding the action that they took. And for Satama fans, Satama holders, and Satama pumpers out there, girlfriend, you got rugged nasty. You got the wool pulled over your eyes. But today's big focus is going to be about CPI data. How much weight am I putting on to CPI data this time around? I'm putting some weight on it, but honestly, I'm looking at the election date along with November 7th, which is the Fed rate cut announcement. But CPI is going to be big because if we get, I just got to say it, if we get juicy CPI data, that helps us out with the Fed. The jobs data messed us up a little bit and was like, oh, crap, man, we just flipped the numbers a little bit. But if we get good CPI data, that'll put the Fed back on track. Lily Season says, sup, dude? It's Junior Morian. My daughter switched my account. Oh, bad kids, man. Bad kids. Trick is hanging out with us. Top of the morning. Back to you, kind sir. Market's a little shaky. Market's a little shaky because of crypto fraud. And this is really bad. I have the article here from the FBI, and this thing is freaking long. Here's the best part. They go into deep detail about the people behind Satama. Seriously, that is not good. Crypto 6 foot says, Klaus, what's up, brother? I'm just hanging out today in the upstate hood. I've got the windows open for once because guess what, everyone? It's not humid AF out. Now, at around 8 o'clock-ish or so, our noise ordinance here, I don't even know if we have like a real noise ordinance, but around 8, 9 o'clock, I've been hearing the chainsaws again. So if I hear it, just give me a split second so I could shut the window. But right now, we're gearing up for CPI data set to release at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. But the big story on everyone's minds is the FBI sting operation catching 50 different cryptos in the mix and actually telling you how they did it. Satoma, whatever you want to call it, was one of the biggest ones mentioned with massive amounts of pumping. Not good. Bob S. is hanging out with us, and Bob, I'm itching to get some rides in this weekend. Now that the weather is broke, I could put the kit on and be good and get some miles in. So Bob's hanging out with us. Crypto 6 foot says, coffee and crypto with Klaus. Hit the like button. Yeah, and for those of you in the chat right now, you're going to see a pinned comment. The pinned comment is my son's channel. Give him a sub, it's free. He just had his biggest video about a week ago with 1,400 views. He does kid-friendly gaming content with narratives. It's kid-friendly. It's not like my channel. My channel is a little bit more on the adult side. His is kid-friendly. So if you got a kid that's into gaming and a whole bunch of different types of gaming, that's the channel for you. But right now, it's CPI data. It's going to be a look at stable coin market cap, which is growing because everyone's getting into stable coins. What about Polymarket? Deaton, zero chance. Moreno has a chance. Who are people putting money on? Moreno. What election are people actually putting money on in terms of swaying the vote with TV ads, radio ads, and all that kind of stuff? It's the Ohio race. The Massachusetts one with Deaton is pretty much considered over. I kid you not. And I'm not being negative towards Deaton. I'm just telling you right now that Massachusetts is a blue state and they're going to vote blue, period. Massachusetts is going to vote Cam, and Massachusetts is also going to vote Pocahontas Lizzie Warren. And normally, I'm down with chicks, and their name is Liz, but not Elizabeth Warren. Trick says, well done, Bob. Yeah, Bob's been working on his channel now for over a year. He's kind of working through anxiety through it, which is really cool, so I kind of have to applaud him on that. And he's been doing a bunch of cool stuff with gaming, everything from FNAF games to fan design games. It's really cool stuff. Now, let's be honest here. What is the crypto market expecting today? We're expecting CPI data to come down. I think that's obvious, right? We're expecting it to come down, but we're expecting it to come down enough to give the Fed more pressure to drop us with the 50 basis point. That would be great. If we get a quarter, hey, that's still good too, right? That's still good because that means back to back, we've got what, everyone? We've got cuts, and cuts are good for the crypto market. Stinky Dead Pastry says, CPI stream with Klaus. Good morning indeed. Well, thank you all. Thank you for the compliments this morning. I'm glad you all find the CPI data interesting. It's honestly, it's macros. Macros rule the roost. And right now, that's what we have to lean on. We have to lean on these macros. And in fact, I've got the 5-year chart of what inflation looks like here in the United States. And you can see we've done a pretty good job leveling off, but it's not as low as it needs to be. And here's the thing. For those of you watching, when CPI data comes out at 2.5%, they're not telling you that inflation is 2.5%. They're actually telling you over the last 12 months, right, from the previous 12 months, we're up 2.5%. So you have to add that 2.5% to the previous one, which was 8.3, to the previous one, which was what, everyone? 5.3, and see what I'm saying? Before you know it, you get to actual inflation numbers of 20+%. So just be cautious out there, because as we're going through the data, you're going to hear me talk about CPI data coming in at 2 point something. It doesn't mean that inflation's only 2%. No, it means it's 2% on the previous 12 months, on the previous 12 months, on the previous 12 months. That adds up to some big numbers. Rudy Poo hanging out with us saying Elizabeth Warren. Oh, come on. We could do better than that. Y'all know I let stuff fly big time on this channel. And by the way, CPI data comes out in 24 minutes. So we got a little bit of time to talk and hang out. I've got Ray hanging out with me on the chaise in the studio this morning. What's up, sweetie? How are you? She's got her purple ball and she's sprawled out on the chaise enjoying her time this morning. She doesn't have any coffee, but she did drink some toilet water, so good for her. Polymarket has got Trump now. The election swinging towards the direction of Trumpito. Yeah, look at this. 54.4% chance. And what's interesting about this is look at the numbers, how Trump was just there. It's pulled back a bit more, went down, went up, went down, went up, and there you go. So look at the trend. That's pretty interesting. That's why I like sharing this kind of stuff, because you know what? You get to see where the money is going and flowing to. Right now, Donald Trump, the big volume gainer right there, the big volume winner so far, 427 million putting the money on Trumpito, while Cam's got 323 million. So some big action here. Arnold Gilmer says, hey, amigo, greetings from Holland. Some juicy news, please. Yeah, thank you. I hope we do get some juicy news. Let's see. Stinky Dead Patient says, do we guess on what we think the percentage will be? Okay, yeah, that's a good one, Stinky Dead Pastry. Let's do that. Let's talk about this first, okay? Previous one was at 2.5, okay? We've had a couple sectors pop up a little bit, because you got to remember, this report is for the previous month. So in the previous month, we had a little bit of a fuel spike. So we may see a little bit of gasoline pump this up a little bit. Food, yeah, you're going to see some food stuff, but within the food sector, some things are pulling back. And for those of you that are watching right now, when you go on these reports, all right, and it's all linked in the description below. When you go on these reports, like say, for instance, this food one right here, when you go on this, you could click on that food one, and you could see if it's food at home or food away from home. And then you could click at food at home and say, oh, meat, fish, poultry, and eggs is still up. Non-alcoholic beverages are still up. So you can kind of drill down into the data to see what's really causing it. Right now, we're getting estimates anywhere from 2.4 to 2.6. I have seen a couple at that 2.7, 2.8, but only a couple. The majority of them have been between 2.4 to 2.6. If we get a 2.7, I don't think the market's going to be happy with that. To make the crypto market happy, we're going to need something less than a 2.5. We're going to keep needing that number to peel back down so that the odds for a 50 basis point cut are in play. Because right now, if you look at the money lines, right now, they're saying, yo, you've only got a 76% chance that you're going to get a quarter. 0% chance of 50 basis cuts. Henry Bockel says, what's up, Klaus? Greeting from Germany. Your first time in your stream. Love your channel. Hold on for all my German viewers out there. With a name like Klaus, you know I've got my German flag just hanging out here. I'll wave it here just for a few minutes, right? For the fatherland. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, and by the way, most of my family actually still lives in Germany. How cool is that? Lily Season says 2.3. Pastry's giving us a 2.7. Comment right now in the chats what you think CPI data is going to come out at. Now, really big for this month, okay? I repeat, there is no Fed meeting this month. The next Fed meeting is November 7th. So that week is going to be absolutely freaking wild. And let me pull my calendar up here really quick because I want to share something with you. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull up my calendar. So you've got election day on the 5th. Then just 2 days later, the Fed rate decision. You are going to have one wild week, that first week in November when it comes to crypto. And I'm talking about the first full week of November, okay? First full week in November, wild for crypto. Elections Tuesday, Jerome Powell Fed meeting on Thursday. It doesn't get any more exciting than that. Let me put my flag away here so I'm not annoying everyone. Oh, shoot. So CPI data. What's the weighting today? The weighting is fairly strong. The crypto market right now, and you can follow it by following the money lines. The crypto market is really, really interested in this election. And the reason the global market is so interested in this election, because we know that politics have played a huge role in crypto adoption, in crypto regs. So realistically speaking here, okay, the election is going to take way more weighting than anything else. In fact, all right, if you want a stressful week for crypto, the election on Tuesday, and you know we're not going to get the results right away, right? There's going to be a little delay, let's be honest here. You are going to have lots of juicy action. Market volatility that first full week in November is going to be absolutely wild. You know what else is wild? The FBI going after Satama, whatever you want to call it, Satoma, whatever you want to call it, after market manipulation, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and unlicensed money transmitting businesses. Not good at all. Commando Spawn says, crypto with Klaus, you're the man melting faces. I wish I was melting faces, though, with hotter price action. Instead, I'm melting faces with hot news. Speaking of hot news, Trick thinks this report's going to come in hot at 2.8. Trick, it's possible because we did have a spike in energy costs the previous month. Now, will that spike be enough to push the numbers up? Well, you also got to think about this too. Housing has also been a mess. So as long as housing stays high, that's going to contribute it. By the way, food away from home, okay? So like when you take your significant other out to like to the restaurants and stuff like that, that is just absolutely on a tear right now inflation-wise. By far, that is like the sector that is not cooling down at all. Now, what's interesting about this is think of what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is PPI data. So what the producers price index, so what the producers pay. And what we've noticed is the producers of our goods, okay? So people that make our cereal, people that make our clothes, people that make our Pepsi, our Coca-Cola, and all that stuff, their prices for what they pay is going up. And what they've been doing is pushing that onto the consumer. you push that onto the consumer, and that's what happens to inflation. Matthew with the Rose says, let's hope for 2.1. Dude, we get a 2.1, that definitely is going to sway the action towards a 50 basis point cut. And right now, this is what we've learned with crypto, okay? What we learned with crypto is crypto wants hardcore optimism, all right? Crypto market on the previous rate cut decision was like, yo, we're happy with 50, but we wanted a 75. We'd be happy with a quarter right now, but the crypto markets really want 50. The problem is, though, is guess what? A week ago, we had about a 33% chance that we were going to get a 50 basis point cut. Then, because of that jobs report, remember, jobs coming out good means the economy can handle high rates for longer. We had a juicy jobs report that came out. All of a sudden, that knocked it down from that 32% chance of getting a 50 basis point cut to now a 0% chance. And for those of you watching right now in the chat, make sure you check out that pinned comment. That's my son's channel. He's starting a channel. Just had his best video ever of 1,400 views. Give him a sub. It's free. It would greatly help him out. Let me snag a quick drink here. Satoshi Nakamoto, nice name you got there, says, Klaus, what do you expect? Honestly, I'm expecting right around 2.5, 2.6. I was following the energy stuff, and that was the one that concerned me, is that you were going to have a spike in energy costs, okay? The other thing that we're going to show up here soon, too, is that the outside of home food. Until that starts coming back, that's going to be a big pain in the butt as well. So 2.5, 2.6, market will be happy with 2.3 or less. We get 2.3 or less, market's happy. Love you, Trick, and the support you give this guy, both effing legends. Trick, giving Matthew a big thank you as well. Yeah, super shout out to Trick for supporting the channel for a long time, and super shout out to Trick celebrating his 31st anniversary with his lovely wife. Yeah, so let's give Trick a big golf clap here because he celebrated an anniversary day. And I got to be honest with you, I always remembered the couples when I was growing up that like motivated me and inspired me. And one of the couples was my aunt and my uncle. And they were like one of the only married people that I knew that like actually liked each other. Like they actually liked each other. So shout out to those of you that are celebrating anniversaries, and great job on keeping it working. Succinct Factuality says, good morning, Klaus. Well, good morning back to you. We got 131 of you right now watching the stream, waiting for CPI data to come out, which is going to be in 14 minutes. I'm expecting in the 2.5, 2.6 range. 2.5, 2.6. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I know energy is pulled down, but if energy stays down, that's one thing. I don't think it's going to keep going down. Matthew says, I bailed 69% of my XRP into Caspa. Yeah, I think a lot of people are moving. A lot of people are making moves because with the SEC and the court case action, you're going to be sitting here for a long time waiting for juicy, juicy goodiness. Now, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I mean, not really. It's a thing. It is what it is. The SEC is doing what they want. Let's see. I've got another article here that I wanted to share with you, and this has to do with it. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to clean this up. In the latest developments surrounding the Ripple case, the SEC announced it will challenge its partial loss in a court against the XRP issuer. The regulator filed a notice of appeal more than a year after the federal judge ruled the sales of Ripples on public exchanges not qualify as security. Let's see, we got James expressed strong support for the idea of a cross appeal in this case. I wouldn't cross appeal, to be honest with you. I would let the SEC do its thing, and I would just play defense at this point. Do we really want to keep dragging this thing out? Because what happens to cryptos out there if people know that, hey, you've got a court case looming over its head, you're not going to moon for a while. People are going to go to where there's more action. They're going to go to where there's more juice right now. And right now, the crypto market, it's all about that. It's all about pumps and dumps. Speaking of pumps and dumps, the FBI absolutely exposed crypto. For real exposed crypto. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video later today about this in more depth, okay? Because I've got the press release from the FBI that goes into specifics on market manipulation, wash trading, and so forth. For those of you that don't know, what happened was this. The FBI created their own tokens so they could track shenanigans, okay, and skullduggery and all that cool fun words, right? They figured out and found out that a bunch of shenanigans were going on, and lots of people are in trouble. There are specific cryptos like Satama, whatever you want to call it, that are in deep, deep poopy. We talk about bots, where these bots were made to get you to sell so that they could buy your crypto cheap. All sorts of messed up stuff, man. What about the Satama people that after they left, they created a whole bunch of new bullshit tokens? Well, guess what? That's listed here as well. Market manipulation, financial fraud. It is an absolute mess. But the more we clean out crypto from the criminals, right, the better crypto is going to be. Because think about that. Are we really worried about Mt. Gox? No, we made the payouts and the market's good. Are we really worried about the SEC reckoning crypto price-wise? No, we're like, yo, we could digest it. Crypto is more than the SEC. Bitcoin is still holding very strong. BNB is still holding very strong. So we've got some players out there that are still doing very well. Very, very well. That's just how it goes. But right now, waiting for CPI data to come out in about 10 minutes. Expectations are 2.4 to 2.6. A few of them out there at 2.7, 2.8. I haven't seen too many on the low side, like the 2.2s, 2.1s. I do, if I remember correctly, this maybe was a... Sorry, my mind's a mess because of all the storm damage, cutting, and crap that we've had it on. Maybe it was a week ago I saw someone calling for a 2.1 or a 2.2, and it's, I don't know, I think that's a bit optimistic right now. I really do. I'd like to see some negative numbers with inflation, meaning prices are going down, but let's be honest here, everyone. Is that going to happen? I freaking doubt it. Right now, the Fed meeting is going to be happening on the Thursday, 7th of November. During that time, the crypto market will not only be watching the vote tally, but we will also be watching to see what the Fed does. That 7th is going to be a big day. Womble Stacker says 2.3. Grant says 3.6. If we get a 3.6, market is absolutely melting down. If we get a 3.6, the market is deader than dead. You will see so much deep red on this screen that it will melt your face. You'll feel like that old, forgotten McDonald's Big Mac that sits up on the top of the heating rack for maybe a shift or two, where people keep adding new Big Macs to the rack, but they don't take that one off. Yeah, 3.6 would not be a good one, but thank you for sharing, Grant. FedEx is hanging out with us as well. Matthew says this, Klaus, honestly though, respect to you, call it how you see it, and honestly, what you have done supporting the community is amazing. Well, decent human being, but in today's terms, that's a legend. I appreciate it. I bring you the news, good or bad, happy or sad, and I gotta be real with you. I was really afraid that I would get a lot of people not liking the channel because I bring the news, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad. Because there's a lot of content out here in this crypto space where people only want good news. But that's not real life, though. That's not really how things work. Like, with your kids in school, unless you got a good, brainiac child, you don't always get good news regarding your kids in school, right? It's not always good news. And for the parents out there that got kids that are driving, right, we all worry about them kids getting in accidents and stuff like that. It's not always good news. Granted, when they come home safe, we're happy, but we're always worried about it, right? Because bad things do happen. You're not my mom or my dad. That's right. I bring you the news, whether it's good or bad. FedEx says, I think jobs is the key. Yeah, the market did react big to the jobs reports. We should be getting more jobs action, I believe, on Friday. There's going to be another monthly adjustment. I think it's next week, if I remember that correctly. Womble Stacker says, you say it how it is. I do. I say it how it is, and I take the heat, whether it's good or bad, happy or sad. And what's messed up, though, is how many channels out there were pumping that Satama crap or Satoma, whatever it is. And now we're finding out that the FBI went after them in depth for all sorts of shenanigans. Background noise says real talk is what the people need. I agree. I totally agree, and that's why I did my channel this way. I wanted to do my channel as a news channel where I just bring you news and kind of let you decide. Now, I'll admit, okay? Sometimes my personal views come into play, and it's very hard for me to separate my personal views from the news sometimes, but I try my best to be as independent as possible. In fact, I've ripped on Democrats and Republicans. In fact, I've ripped on crypto stuff, and I've also praised crypto stuff. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what race you are. I don't give a shit what religion you are. I don't care what political affiliation you are. I don't care if you're gay or straight. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. All I care about is, are you a good person or not? Are you a lying scumbag or not? Right? And with crypto, what we've learned is most of these people out there are just lying to you. Oh my God, XRP $40,000 buyback. Oh, the Russian stock market's going to be built on XRP. They just tell you all this crap just to make you think that everything is great, but it's not. Womble Stacker says, is the U.S. government still dumping Bitcoin? Yes, they are. And in fact, I have that. Let me get that for you super fast. And in fact, not only can we see if the U.S. government is dumping Bitcoin, we can see what they own. And let me do this here. I'm going to show you guys how to use this really quick. Let me get a quick drink here. And this is for Womble Stacker. Arkham Intelligence has the United States government wallets listed, okay? Now, they were announcing they were going to sell some BTC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the 1 month chart here. And here's what you could see. In the 1 month, the United States has gained some value, but here you go. There's the movements right there. And in fact, if you go down a little bit further, you could see the actual transfers from the United States government. The last transfer, they were doing test transactions, okay? Check it out. 1 week ago, their CoinJoin address from the United States government received 0.3 BTC. So they're testing stuff, okay? Because think about this. A lot of people don't want to move stuff to an exchange and have it be gone, right? If they're going to sell it, they're going to move a little bit of crypto just to test the transaction first, and then they're going to launch the good stuff. So by the way, the government has not yet officially sold its BTC, but you can check it out right here that yes, they are selling some Coinbase Prime, or they are selling to Coinbase Prime. They sold a little bit of ETH. They also sold a little bit of USDT. But most of the transactions from the government have been fairly small. Succinct Factuality says, it's your channel, and we came to listen to you, so middle finger the haters. Your vibe is like a magnet of awesome, powerful, positive beta energy. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do. I bring it whether it's good or bad, happy or sad, and I'm not worried about the United States government dumping BTC. I'm not. The German government dumped BTC, and yeah, the market panicked for like a couple days and then pumped right back up because the market was like, oh, dude, we could handle this. We can totally handle this. By the way, the United States government is a mega whale of BTC, and that's pretty much about it. They own 12.4 billion of BTC, and they own 120 million of USDT and 120 million of ETH. So they're really not that big into anything other than BTC with a little bit of USDT and a little bit of ETH in there. But right now we're all focused on CPI data, which is coming out in the next 3 minutes. So you know what's going to happen. When we get right to that 8:30 Eastern time, I'm going to just keep hitting that refresh button over and over and over. I'm going to melt this mouse down to the ground and just keep clicking and see what the report says. I would personally be happy with a 2.3. I would really be happy with the 2.3. A 2.7 could pause the Fed, everyone. A 2.7, okay? A 2.7 could easily make the Fed pause for the November meeting. And that is not what we want. Matthew Witherow says, gotta run, bro. Stay safe. Love to all. Take care all. Thank you, Matthew, for joining us this morning. And for those of you that can't catch the rest of the stream, or those of you that are coming in late, remember, as soon as this stream is done, it gets uploaded to the live stream folder. Womble Stacker, is this the last CPI before election? I believe it is. Let me see. Hold on. Let's go November CPI 2024 date. I think it is, because I think the next one happens, was it the Wednesday? I think maybe it was the Wednesday or something like that we would get CPI data. I know I can pull it over on this one here. Let me see. This is the October 10th one, economic releases. I'm going to open this up right here. Let's see if I can find it quick in the meantime. Economic calendar. Let me see if I can find it here. CPI. I want to see the future one. Where is my future one? And I'm sorry, I just don't want to lose everyone while I'm searching for this stuff right now. But essentially, we're looking for CPI. November CPI data. Here we go. Oh, man, there are no results. Are you serious? Come on now. Something's not working right with this. I'm almost positive it falls in between. Andrew Butcher says, I'm sad to have missed the cut till now, just arriving. Morning, Klaus and chat. Well, Andrew, thank you for joining. Big things that we're looking at right now is CPI data. How about the FBI busting and exposing a whole bunch of crypto, including Satema? It is 8:30 right now, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep hitting that button like a fiend. We were at 2.5 the previous month, and I'm just waiting for her to refresh. Come on, baby, refresh, refresh, refresh. Oh, let's go. You guys see my screen? It's getting all jacked up, getting all jacked up, getting all jacked up. Come on now, give us the juicy data. I wonder how many people are also hitting the refresh button like I am, like an absolute fiend. Waiting for the data dump. It should be coming out now any second. Here we go. Rose 2.4%. Shelter and food is up. So we went to 2.4%. Let me do this. Let me put that up in the chats here real quick. CPI came in at 2.4. Whoa, buddy, I gotta fix my chat here. Give me a second. 2.4 came in for CPI. There we go, man. All right, 2.4. I think we're happy with that. I mean, is it the juiciest of juicy? No. I'll read it for you here real quick. The CPI for all urban customers increased 0.2% on a seasonally adjusted basis. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported. Over the last 12 months, all items increased 2.4% for seasonal adjustments. Let's talk about this. The index for shelter rose. Again, housing is not going to break. Housing is not going to break. The index for food also increased. That I can see. And I guess what scares me too is we could have a few more food inflation pop-ups here for the rest of the year, which would not be fun. Oh, here's the one that I told you about that I was worried about. The food at home index increased 0.4% in September. The food away from home index rose 0.3% month over month. Energy did fall good, so we had some negating energy data in there, which I like. Honestly, food away from home, not the best. Shelter, not the best. Let's start looking into the data. Now, with it coming in at 2.4, I'm not really thinking the market's going to react big time. I mean, the difference between 2.5 and 2.4 is not that much. But let's take a quick look at food. Food at home is up. Look at meat, fish, poultry, and eggs is still up. Non-alcoholic beverages is going up. Let's check out food away from home because that's going to be food services. Yeah, full service meal and snacks, limited service meal and snacks. So food services are up. Energy. Okay, energy services went up, which is going to be electricity and natural gas. But energy raw prices, the commodities went down, with fuel oil going down 22%. And gasoline down 15.3%. Womble Stacker says, will they still cut 25 basis points in November or pause? Realistically, they can cut it still. They can definitely cut it still. And here's why. Housing is a big problem. But housing isn't going to get fixed by rates because we need more homes. It's a supply and demand thing right now. So you can bring rates down, but you'd have to bring rates down a ton to get more people to sell their homes. Because who wants to sell their home right now that's locked into a 4% interest rate only to swap it out to 7.5? People don't want to do that. People do not want to do that at all. So 2.4, we like it. Is it super juicy? No, it's not. By the way, when is the next CPI data? November 13th, so about a week and change after the election. So you're going to have the first full week of November, Tuesday, the election, then which is the 5th. You're going to have the 7th, which is the Fed meeting, and then the 13th, which is another, I think, a Wednesday. I think Wednesday's the 13th. You're going to have CPI data coming out. We've got 231 of you in the chat right now. And take a look at the comment that's pinned in the chat. That's a YouTube channel. That's my son's YouTube channel. Give him a subscribe. Help the kid out. Just had his biggest video out there last week with 1,400 views. He's trying to beat Dad. He's trying to get more views and subs than me. He's going to have a little bit of an uphill battle, but you can help him beat Dad by clicking subscribe on that channel and helping him beat the old man. Now, in terms of what's going on with the crypto market right now, it's the election. Let's be real here. It's going to be on the election, and it's going to be on individual votes, for instance, Senate seats and so forth. And let me get a quick drink right here. Yeah. That is a good salted lemon lime drink this morning. Love it, love it, love it. So, what are we eyeing up for the election? Right now, Trump has a better chance of winning. In fact, over this last week, his odds have gone from 49.9 to 54.4. That's a healthy swing right there. I think everyone could agree with that. And yes, Womble Stacker the 13th. So it's a week after the Fed rate cut and a week after the election. Crypto is in a little bit of trouble right now with the FBI. That's not good, everyone. By the way, the whole idea of wash trading and bots and wash trading exposed by the FBI. For those of you that don't know what happened, this is what happened. The FBI created their own token, okay? When they created this token, they used it to track all sorts of naughtiness and shenanigans, right? And what they found was that there were a bunch of people out there doing wash trading, artificially inflating the value along with volume of cryptos so that people think it's juicier. Satoma, whatever you want to call it, is one of those specifically listed. And the people behind it are in trouble for not just that, but several other crypto projects, companies, and tokens. That is not good, everyone. Yeah. So shilling Satoma, whatever you want to call it, was not a good idea because the FBI was like, girlfriend, that thing was riddled with shenanigans. Speaking of shenanigans, Polymarket. Let's talk about that real quick here, okay? Because what we're going to do, Massachusetts winner. What about Ohio winner, okay? Massachusetts right now, everyone's like, oh, Deaton, shut the hell up, man. Shut up. Deaton has zero chance. In fact, there's no money even being put on this. You know who does have a chance? Moreno. Yeah, Moreno actually has a chance, and there's tons more money being put on that. Patrick has a great comment. Patrick says, FBI cleaning up the filth. It's a great thing. I totally agree. I completely agree, Patrick. It's hard to expose the naughtiness and shenanigans, right? It's hard to pull back the curtains. But after you pull back the curtains and you expose everything that's going on, you can start making stuff better. So, Patrick, I got to be honest with you. I love the comment, man. Love the comment. Trick's got to go because it's harvest time. Well done, sir. You got to have that fall crop harvest, my good man. By the way, Trick, today is a recovery day for me. I trained my butt off yesterday, and I've got a big workout Saturday that I got to do. So I'm recovering today. So I might join you a little bit there, sir. Background noise says much love from Massachusetts. Background noise can attest to this. Background noise can attest that, guess what? Massachusetts is going to vote for Elizabeth Warren. Massachusetts will also vote for who? Kamala Harris. Massachusetts is a blue state. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how that state votes. So don't expect Massachusetts to give Deaton any love whatsoever. For instance, look what I got up on the screen. I got the Ohio Senate race, all right? Do you see how close this is? Do you see how close this is, right, between the blue and the red, the Dems and the Republicans, okay? Now, go to Deaton's and check this out. Here it is. It's not close at all. The numbers have not swayed. In fact, the numbers have gotten worse for Deaton over time. Oh, gosh. Background noise says, most of us don't want blue this year, but the problem is, background noise, the state's going to vote blue. It's just like Illinois and Chicago. They're going to vote blue. Chicago, and everyone knows, I'm from the area. My wife grew up in this city. She lived in the city for the majority of her life. I got my Sox hoodie on because I'm still repping my baseball love. Chicago, it's the same way. They've had Democratic mayors for how freaking long? The city's not getting any better, but people keep voting Democratic. It's a machine. Illinois, as much as Illinois is mostly farms, it is ruled by big cities. Champaign, Chicago. Guess who they're going to vote for? Yeah, exactly. They're going to vote for Kamala Harris. That's just how it works. Some states are blue, some states are red, some states are swing states. Ohio right now is going to be a swing for this election. That's important. That is super important. And if we could steal that Ohio Senate seat from Sherrod Brown, that would be massive pro-crypto news. Succinct Factuality says, I can't imagine the crazy nonsense that happens in the meme coin game. For real, I'm going to do a deeper dive on this FBI story because I think we need to shed more light on this. Because there's so much shenanigans going on in here. And the names, the number of people, and the things they did, creating fake volume. So think about it. You know how like when we report for volume, and let's actually take a step back. You know how like when we go on social media sites and stuff like that, it's mostly like bots that are commenting. So like we always say on Twitter, right? What is Twitter? Twitter is like for every one real person, there's like 20 bots, right? Well, what if we find out that crypto trading is the same way? What if we find out that the majority of the volume in crypto is BS bots and it's fake volume? It's just 2, 3, 4, 5 wallets just sending the same stuff back and forth over and over and over and over and over again. That's not good. That's not good at all. You want real volume. Now, I'm going to be with Patrick on this, and I'm going to say, yes, I believe this is a great thing. I really do believe that exposing the bad players in this space is a good thing because it makes us better as a whole. Frankie Ortiz, what's up, Frankie? How are you doing? Frankie says, what's the FBI crypto name? I will tell you here very shortly because they have it. Hold on a second here. Give me a second. Here. The FBI led investigation by setting a trap and creating a digital token, Next Fund AI, to document the alleged perpetrator's action. It was Next Fund AI was the crypto. Joseph says, crypto is mostly bots. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Crypto is totally mostly bots. That's why when you see like one thing crash, everything crashes with it because all the bots are trading it. The problem is that's a lot of fake volume. And if we didn't have bots, you would see very, very little crypto volume compared to what's advertised right now. So wash trading, volume pumping, market manipulation, market pumping, it's all stuff that's happening right now. And it is the FBI, not FIB, FBI. And the FBI's token was called the what, everyone? Next Fund AI. Dude, they got a lot of people. They got a lot of people, and they really exposed a heck of a lot of mess when it comes to crypto right now. So this FBI story, although being painful to rip off the Band-Aid, is actually a good one because now we can move on with more legitimacy. In terms of the expected rate cuts or pause with the CME group, guess what? That data that we got this morning pushed the numbers a little bit. We now have an 87% chance of the Fed cutting rates on November 7th. And remember, the 5th is election day. So we're going to have a wild, early November. Digital Revolution says FBI equals fib anagram. Very well done. Very well done. Female body inspector, female boobie inspector, female booty inspector. You remember all those t-shirts. Let me grab a quick drink here. And I will spit my ice out because it is not polite to chew ice while on the microphone. I've got Ray Girl hanging out with me on the chaise. She's hanging out. She's got her favorite ball with her. Ray Gun in the house. And I got a bunch of you in the house right now watching, so make sure you hit that like button to help push channel like this to other crypto enthusiasts. But here's the roundup on the news. CPI data came out at 2.4. We got a break in energy, but food and housing is still too high. United States, yeah, we've got a handle on it, but it's still not what we're looking for. The Fed right now is saying, yep, we're going to cut rates, most likely a quarter, which would be a good thing, everyone. I totally agree. I think that would be a good thing. Would we get a 50 basis point cut? I don't know. We would have to have a bit more juiciness come out here because I don't think the Fed wants to go that aggressive. I really don't. Satoshi Nakamoto says liked and subscribed. Thank you very much. By the way, if you feel like being in a generous mood and you want to generate something that's free, click on the pinned link that's up there in the chat. It's free. That's my son's channel. Sub to it and help a kid out. I'd love to have him wake up this morning, whenever he does wake up. It might be this afternoon. Love to have him wake up this early afternoon and see a bunch of new subs to his gaming channel, which is, by the way, family friendly. No, he does not put all the wang jokes and the boob jokes and all the naughtiness that I do. His is family friendly stuff. Polymarket's telling us what we need to hear, not what we want to hear. And that's that what? Trump right now has a better chance of winning the election than Cam. Trump's at 54% right now, while Cam's at 45%. Balance of power, well, if we got a Republican sweep, you would definitely be able to get crypto regs within the first year of that new session of Congress. But in order to get that happen, you probably are going to have to get them all in together. Now, for the fans across the pond, you know I like helping you out. Check this one out. Who's going to win the Premier League? Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool. Look at that. I've been watching as well. So let me know what you got going on your mind. What we're going to do is we're going to run the stream till 9 a.m. Eastern time. So if you have any questions, comments, if there's stuff that you want to touch on, talk about, let me know right now in the comments down below. And give me 1 second. I got to turn something off. I left a machine on. Hold on a second here. All right, sorry about that. I had a machine on and I just heard the beeping, so it is fully charged. Think for yourself says, meme coins make crypto look like a clown show. Unbelievable how many dummies buy meme coins. Think for yourself, what about all the celebrity coins? Seriously, like, and when people are shocked that celebrity coin X, Y, and Z are rug pulls, how can you be shocked by that? Celebrities just use these meme coins as like their own personal piggy bank. It's absolutely gross. So think for yourself. I'm with you 100%. But meme is about risk. And I get that. Crypto is very risky. So it makes sense that players are going to want to play in some level 2, level 3 riskiness. Knackers O'Reilly says, great live, Klaus. Thank you very much. Had a little bit of technical issues early on, but we're working through it. CPI data is the big one right now. But also, stablecoins, the big one. Stablecoin market cap keeps growing. You're going to see a lot, I repeat, a lot of action in stablecoins. You're going to see more companies launching stablecoins. You're going to see more companies participating in stablecoins, and they don't need a bridge asset. In fact, with USDC, there's no need for a bridge asset at all because you could swap it on like, what is it right now? 13 different chains? That's nuts. Johnny Pena says, good morning, Klaus. Happy Thirsty Thursday. Oh, well, thank you. We also like to refer to it as Titties Thursday. Titties Thursday. Chris B says, gotta go, Klaus, heading to the mountains to do some hunting. Oh, what kind of tags did you get? Did you get some good buck whitetail tags? Are you hunting muleys out west? Chris, you gotta let us know before you get out. Ian Williams says, Man City will win the league, bigger squad and more in depth. See, that's why I bring up the polymarket stuff. So whether it's the Massachusetts Senate race, of which Deaton has zero freaking chance of winning, Premier League winners, of which we're seeing right now that Arsenal has the higher chance, but Man City's got more money behind it. Or if we're talking about presidential elections and the fact that Trump now has a massive lead over Kamala in this last week. You can see a definite shifting in the data this last week. Into the rabbit hole, gold has gotten a bit funky since the data. Yes. Ooh, Chris says he's got elk tags. Good for you. Good for you, dude. I saw a herd of elk when I was up in Colorado, about 30 head deep. They were traversing between 12 and about 12,500 feet up on the ranges. And my wife and I were watching them for about a good 3-4 miles, watching them just move sideways along the mountains. It was awesome. Only want the big hogs with horns. You better believe it. You want the good rack on them elk, man. You want to make sure that you get rid of the old bull. Get rid of the old bull so that we can get those youthful bulls in there breeding. Way to go, Chris B. Love it. What mountains, by the way, are you hunting in, Chris? I got to hear this stuff. I'm all excited. I love hunting myself. What I don't love, though, is that we did see an increase of inflation when it comes to food. Housing is still too high. CPI data came in better at 2.4, but not good enough. We were all hoping for a bit more. Right now, 86% chance that you're going to get a 25 basis point cut with the Fed. Hey, sweetheart. Sorry, I got Ray Girl hanging out with me. She had a little episode yesterday, so she's been hanging out with Dad for quite some time. Now, in order to get the 50 basis point cut, we're going to need a lot more juice. We're going to need a lot more juicy news, and we're going to need a lot more things to happen our way. But with the election coming, you could probably get more action from the election news than you could with CPI data. Ian Williams says, Klaus, how's the day looking for positive XRP action? Honestly, I don't expect today's news to really move the prices too much. Today's 2.4, like when you look at it here, let's do that. Here's your 2.4 right here. Here's your 2.5 from the previous month. That's not really that big of a delta, that big of a change. So honestly, I don't think the market's going to react too crazy heavy to this data because it was too close to the previous month's data. Think for yourself says, do you know when the cut will be? The Fed rate cut, the next meeting is November 7th, okay? November 7th, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and Jerome Powell comes on the mic at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So here's what's going to happen that week, okay? This is going to be one nutso week. Ooh, Rocky Mountains in British Columbia, no cell service. Love it, Chris. Love it. Honestly, I spend the majority of my time out west in areas with no cell service, no rescue service. You got to go out there and you got to go raw. You got to go raw. But anyways, we were talking about the rate cut. Here's what's going to happen, okay? Let's check this out, okay? I'm going to open up the calendar. Watch this, okay? I got my calendar up on the screen. See this right here, the 5th? This is election day, okay? You won't even have all the votes counted for a while after, okay? But you're going to see a lot of hoopla, a lot of shenanigans on the 5th of November. 2 days later is the Fed's rate cut decision. So within 48 hours, you're going to have two massive news items that affect crypto happening. Then, this is where stuff gets even wilder than that. Then, less than a week later is the 13th with CPI data, the next one, okay? So within a 1 week time period, we have 3 big events for crypto that are happening in the beginning of November. So buckle up because this is going to be one heck of a wild ride that first part of November. In terms of expectations regarding the election, we know that volatility is going to be big. There's a lot of money on the sidelines, and that money on the sidelines is thinking this. We're going to have a very different economic direction if Trump wins, a very different economic trajectory if Kamala wins. Both are very, very different candidates, okay? So money right now is sitting on the sideline going, okay, Let's see what happens with this election and see if we get something juicy. All right. And what they're going to wait to see is they're going to wait to see the way the election goes so they know how to play the markets. All right. Ian Williams says, when XRP moons, the Welsh XRP army will dance a jig. I think you'd even probably get the USA XRP army dancing a jig. Hold on here. Let me let my sweet girl out real quick. You want to go out there, sweetie? Okay. There you go. Ray? No. Leia, you want to come in? Come here. Ray, go. All right. Now we got 2 doggies with me hanging out. Ray, leave her alone, sweetheart. She's being a good girl. So right now we are sitting at 8:54 a.m. We're going to run the stream till 9 a.m. So you've got 6 more minutes to comment, ask a question, say whatever you want to say. Click the like button, sub to the channel up top. Meparatus says, I don't even need rate cuts to make bucks on XLM's automated market makers, Klaus. That is true. You don't. You don't need rate cuts to make money on that. But let me ask you this. Are there other places to park your money where you could earn a juicier yield with less risk? And that's the big one. Are you okay? Oh, here. Sorry about that. There you go. Take your ball, sweetie. Let's see. Succinct Factuality says, I see red crypto on the week that no one gets paid. I see green in the crypto when the pay comes in. Honestly, it is about cash flow, and it is about retail cash flow. Until we get better regs, and until we clean out the shenanigans like that the FBI exposed regarding Satema and a whole bunch of other market manipulation stuff, retail is going to be fueling crypto. And when retail fuels crypto, it's all about the flow of money for retail and how expensive money is. And right now we need rates to come down. We also need the prices of stuff to come down as well. Auto loans are still ridiculously way too high. Way too high. Cenobite Toast Crunch hanging out with us says, hey fam, hope y'all are doing well. We are doing well. I would say we are doing well. XRP right now sitting at 53.5. Seeing a little bit of movement of XRP up on the screen. Let's go to those candlesticks here and see what they're actually telling us. I'm going to swing it on over to the 5 minutes so you can see what's happening, and that's exactly what's happening. A minor movement based on CPI data. Let's see, what else do we got? Mep is also saying hello to everyone. Knackers O'Reilly says, have a great day, guys and gals. I agree. Have a great day. You've got 4 more minutes right now, so if you want to share a comment, if you've got a question to ask, now is the time. But the big news is that first couple weeks in November are going to be absolutely crazy. Election, Fed rate cuts, CPI data, Senate elections, presidential elections, a lot of crypto stuff up for grabs. And the reason these Senate seats are so big is because right now the Senate is divided, right? 50-50. So when the Senate is divided, who gets the tiebreaker vote? The vice president. So if the vice president is Democratic, then the Senate becomes democratically controlled. So if you can steal a seat from, say, Ohio, where you actually have a chance of beating Sherrod Brown, come on, Moreno, you can do it. But if you can steal the seat from Ohio, you could take that 50-50 and turn it into a 49-51 and sway things your way. Knackers also says XRP will have its day in the sun. We still got to wait for the SEC to file their Form C, which tells us what exactly are they appealing. So once that news comes out, you know I'm going to share it with you. Brandon says, is it stupid to put all my money on XRP? Dude, we all do different things, man. We all do different things. I had people tell me that it was stupid to get married. Here I am 14 years later, and I'm happy as hell. I am. I'm happy as hell. So it is all up to you. Now, am I a fan for having a diverse portfolio? You bet your butt. If you put all your money on XRP, you miss out on other pumps, right? Right? See what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. Diversification is generally a really, really good rule. Yoki J says the good old Buckeye State. We refer to that as the Ohio State University. 2 minutes left until the stream ends. Get those questions and comments in now. Ian Williams says, Klaus, what's the SEC meeting today about? No idea. The SEC holds meetings all the time. Like all the time. A lot of it's just clickbait news BS. But right now the news is CPI data came in. Yeah, it came in lower than the previous month, but then again, not that much lower. Diversification in crypto, it's smart. Why? Because you never get time back. Think about that. Skibbity, Ohio. Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to be honest here. Worse than Ohio, Iowa. Stephen Smith's CPI data happened. It came in at 2.4. I'm hanging out with y'all right now saying, yo, you got a minute left. Get those questions and comments in because I still got to do another video. And you know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be playing some music in the background when that action happens. So get those comments in because CPI data already came in. Month of November is going to be a wild one. We're going to be following the FBI's report going after the naughtiness of crypto. And right now, it's 9 a.m. So I'm going to play some tunes, hang out with y'all in the chat, make sure you say goodbye to each other, and as always, choo choo bitches. All right, everyone, I'm going to go do some videos, get people caught up on the news.